T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Hello everyone, T-Man 978 reviewing the Smash Brothers Edition Retro 3-pack of R.O.B, Mr. Game&Watch, and Duck Hunt. All three of these are retro characters who I'm pretty sure a lot of kids nowadays never actually experienced firsthand. I remember seeing a R.O.B like a long time ago. And of course, Duck Hunt. Everybody had Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt cartridge. And Mr. Game&Watch on the Game&Watch games. On the back, we see that R.O.B's and he's fighting against Fox. You can barely see him. Mr. Game&Watch is fighting against Rosalina and Diddy Kong. And Duck Hunt is fighting Yoshi. I can tell you right now, R.O.B is my favorite. If those arms are posable, oh my goodness. Which I know they aren't. But anyway, let's get them out of packaging. Here is the card. Now, when I pre-ordered these guys, I had no idea whether we were getting 3 individual Amiibo taped together like something you would get in Sam's Club as a bundle, or whether they come in one big box. And now I know. I forgot to mention this, but Mr. Game&Watch's interchangeable figure pieces are actually underneath of all the characters. And the little anti-NFC piece isn't like glued in there or anything. It's just a big paper piece. And you have to lift that up to get these. So they're on this like plastic tray. Let's start things off with Duck Hunt. I think this is awesome the way they were able to reproduce this look. His stand is actually coming up behind him into the duck's like breast area. But you can see the little doggy feet thingies. I forgot what they're called. But excellently detailed. They look exactly like the video game. You can see his little collar and his little paw things right there too. Come on. His mouth isn't darkly shaded or anything on the inside. As you can see, his tongue hanging out. But yeah, you can see the texture in his ears. And they came out very well. The duck doesn't have any like high details or anything. But like I thought you might be able to see feathers, but you don't. They're both three-dimensional, cartoony. Now let's get to, I guess, Mr. Game&Watch. Mr. Game&Watch. Unfortunately, he's not completely flat, but they have admitted that his character model isn't actually flat. It's like three-dimensional. But they show him in his still poses. And here's one of his poses. I guess they couldn't decide on what to do. So basically, pull them apart, and that stays in there very well. Let's go with this one for now. It goes in, as you can see right here, there's a smaller hole right there and a longer hole in the back. That's how you know how to line them up. The paint on each one of these doesn't quite match up with this gold right here, but as you can see, I believe this is his, what is it? The R.O.B attack. Don't kill me. Anyway, there's that. Same number on both sides. And these things are fairly substantial. I guess they feel like coasters in hand or anything. And this outline is three-dimensional. So you can actually feel it. It's molded in. And this is one of his main taunts. Not much to him. And the parachute right here. Same deal. Game&Watch used to be my favorite character to use. The kids hated me using him. But that's pretty much him. I mean, this one probably is the loosest. Yeah, this one comes out the easiest. I guess you don't even need him. You could pretend you turned it to the side and now he's invisible. Finally, R.O.B, the robotic operating buddy. From what I can see of his display stand, this is the correct angle to look at him at, but I can barely see under there because, of course, it's dark with him totally, completely covering it. And unfortunately, he's not posable at all. I would love a posable version of this. All of this is hard plastic. The cable in his back is a little bit soft, but this thing is really, really cool. I mean, he even has, let me try to zoom in on this, an on-off button right there. I don't know how well that's going to come off on camera. Yeah, I can't zoom in on that. It's too small, but you can see it with your own eyes when you get it. And down here it even says robotic operating buddy right there, and Nintendo and R.O.B. That is so cool. If that's on the game like that, I never noticed that. This is hard plastic too. It doesn't really bend. So, disappointed about that. He even has his light molded in on the top of his head. Focus, come on now. Oh, look at that. And the eyes. Man, they recreated this thing almost perfectly. This is definitely my favorite. Maybe I'm biased because I like robots, but you have to admit this thing looks really, really cool. God, I wish this was posable. Anyway, let's get a group shot. These are definitely very, very cool Amiibo. As you can see, or as you can tell, R.O.B is my favorite. But Mr. Game&Watch is cool. And Duck Hunt is actually cool. They are excellently molded. So I hope you guys can find these. They had more than just pre-orders at the GameStop I went to. They had a few extra on the actual counter that you could buy. But people, I guess, that were in the store, they are completely naive to Amiibo. Thank goodness for me in the area where I shop. That makes them easier for me to find. And I'm not even going to tell you where. But anyway, if you like this review, unboxing, whatever you want to call it, I'll call it a review. Give me a like. Give me a share. Subscribe. Comment. T-Man978 out of here.